Hey all, Brandon here for another episode of SexxPerTease, and today's question is a long one, so bear with me as I try to read it all. Okay, so I haven't exactly had a lot of hookups in my lifetime, and while the ones I have had were fun in the heat of the moment, I was hoping to find a friend with benefit. Met someone on A for A, Adam for those of you that don't know. And we get along really great, but I think he's developed some deep feelings for me. I'm flattered and I like him a lot, maybe too much as well, but I'm not ready to jump into a serious relationship, let alone move in. I talked with him early on about my situation. He was perfectly fine and continues to say so. Is it normal for friends with benefits guys to get deep feelings for each other? There's been a couple times when he wanted to say I love you too, but instead said I really, really, really like you. He told me he told me so beforehand, so how do you know if you and your buddy are getting too close? I might just be overanalyzing my feelings and his. I'll admit we don't just hang out during the day. I usually spend the night, so that's probably a no-no right there. I still wanted to ask you about this. Oh wait, oops, my bad. Okay, so I do think it may be a bit. I mean, it's not uncommon to develop feelings for a friend with benefit, especially if you have been hooking up with someone for a long time. I mean, it also just depends on the encounter. I mean, I've had friends with benefits that, well, I guess friends with benefits are pretty much the extenuation of my, like, even my deepest relationships. Like, I had feelings for them. It's usually guys that I had feelings for before we became friends with benefits, or like we settled for friends with benefits because they made it clear they didn't want to be my boyfriend, and much to my chagrin. But like, it's just you can't control who you develop feelings for, no matter how much you think you don't want a relationship or that this relationship is just sex or casual. Like, two people, I don't think it's always going to result in one person getting feelings for the other, but I mean, it's definitely not uncommon to develop feelings for someone that you're being intimate with, like you're spending the night with each other, you're getting to know each other, you're spending a lot of time together. Like, that connection is deep, and that could be a very deep connection they may not have had with any other person or had with someone else in a very long time. So I mean, it's impossible not to be able to develop feelings for someone that you do spend intimate moments with and do care about a lot and are having a lot of great sex with. But on the other hand, I mean, if you enjoy hooking up with him and you are having a great time with each other, I don't think you would need to end things. But I do think if you are confused about how he does really feel about you, maybe you should ask him. Though I feel like he's probably aware that you aren't looking for a relationship, since he hasn't really explicitly made a move like, hey, maybe we should go out sometime, or maybe instead of just hooking up we could go on a date or do more couple like things together. So I feel like he does seem to know his boundaries, know your boundaries, since he hasn't really made that move, and instead of saying he's in love with you, he's just said he really, really likes you. But I mean, if it's bothersome to you that this person does develop feelings for you, maybe you should end things just to not hurt them if they do want more. But since they aren't really explicitly telling you they want more, they may be aware that you don't want a relationship at all, so they aren't even broaching the subject because they know they don't want to deal with the rejection of you saying that this relationship doesn't mean as much to you as it means to them. Though it does sound like you do care about him and value him in your life just as a friend with benefit capacity. Though I do feel like maybe if you do like this person, like, why you do have to ask yourself, well, why don't you want a relationship? Like, I know people say like they don't want a relationship because maybe they aren't at the right point in their lives, or maybe like they want to have a better career, better place, or just focus on other things before they have a relationship. But I mean, again, we can't control our love lives, especially to that extent. Like, we don't have control over that much going on in our lives. So if you do care about this person and you do really like them, I don't think it would be wise to maybe just dismiss the relationship because you think you aren't ready for a relationship. I mean, if you care about them, why not embrace it and say that, hey, maybe you and I could be more, or maybe not so serious, but maybe we could just hang out, hook up. I mean, I guess it is what you are doing, but you didn't really give that many details. Like, what do you do besides just hooking up? Like, if you are doing date like things or couple like things, like, is he helping you move? Is he like cooking for you? Is he cooking breakfast in bed? Is he like there for you when you're sick? Like, it really just depends on what you're doing. But I mean, it doesn't really sound like he's doing something that's a problem, since he hasn't really explicitly said that he is in love with you or wants to be your boyfriend. But if you are getting that vibe, maybe just ask him about it. But then again, I just feel like it could be unnecessary to feel a sense to reject them because you are worried they have feelings for you, even though they aren't really telling you they have feelings for you. So if things are pretty much going good right now, I don't think you should feel the need to say, hey, I'm not looking for a relationship, so I don't like that you're acting like you like me too much, because that just seems like you're an asshole, and that's unnecessary drama. I mean, they're staying within their boundaries, they know your boundaries, it seems, and I just think if you have a good thing going for you two right now, it doesn't really seem like an issue. I hope that helped answer your question. I mean, it sounds like a friend with benefits nice. I mean, I've definitely had feelings for some friends with benefits before, but I mean, I've had a guy that I'm hooking up with now, and we've been hooking up off and on for like 3 years, but like, I don't see him as boyfriend material at all. So like, I've never developed any feeling at all or any desire to like hang out or see him more. Like, I just want him for sex, and that's works out for best. And that works out best for both of us. But if I had friends with benefits that did drive me crazy, that I did want more with, that's because we started going out on a date and then they rejected me. We're like, I think we should just hook up. Like, that is something like I cannot ever do again. Like, if you want a relationship and the other person just wants to hook up, it's not gonna work out. Like, you just need to end things and move on with your life, because you are always gonna think like, hey, maybe if we hook up enough, they'll change their mind. Like, you can't wait for someone to change their mind. You just have to end it. So, I mean, if I was the guy that you're hooking up with and I did really like you and you didn't like me in the same way, then I would think that we need to end things. But if you are uncomfortable with him even telling you he really, really likes you, then maybe you should end things, because you don't want to hurt this person, and maybe their attachment to you could be blocking them from finding someone new. Possibly. I don't know, that's a lot. It's a complicated situation. Friends with benefits, everyone always thinks like it's so much better because it's like less drama, you get to have lots of sex, and like you get the hooking up without the commitment. But in reality, like, one person's possibly gonna catch feelings and then drama will inevitably ensue. So I hope that helped answer your question, and thanks for submitting, and please submit more questions to me. Well, I guess you can find me anywhere on social media. Brandonness on Twitter, Instagram, Grammar, Chisable, dating apps. Yeah. Thanks again.